Hey guys, we're at Clarence Park today in Toronto. It's Canada Day. We came out here to take a look at the encampment. This is one of the largest in Toronto, which is kind of a good thing. Apparently in Edmonton, they have like over 400 structures in one of the encampments. This one we've only got like 13, I think, and it's the biggest. So we're going to go ahead and try and talk to some of the people here and just get an idea for who they are, how they got here, and kind of just get their story down because these are a lot of stories that are going untold right now, and they're kind of like it's an epidemic, really, all over Toronto, all over Canada, where these encampments are cropping up. So yeah, let's go see if we can talk to some of these people. Hey guys, we are with Birdy at Clarence Park, and he's taken the time to speak with us. We're going to go ahead and ask him a few questions, figure out how he got into this predicament, how he's getting himself out of it, and hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two. So let's begin with how did you get to Canada? Like, how old were you when you got here? What were the circumstances that brought you here? Yeah, let's start there.
Oh, my background is Irish, but I was actually born here in Scarborough.
Okay.
Moved around quite a bit, but I was most recently living up north, and went to go move back to Toronto.
North is like Thunder Bay.
I was in Barrie.
Barrie.
Not
okay.
too far.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Not
Like
too
half
far.
hour, half
Not
hour.
too far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hour.
Kind of redneckish, like
Barrie, yeah,
Ontarians,
scary
right?
Barrie.
Yeah,
Scary
yeah,
Barrie.
yeah.
Barrie's a little different, but
Lumberjacks and fishermen.
it's weird.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little strange, but anyways, I was in discussions with a woman over the phone for a couple weeks.
Okay.
And
Like dating her, basically?
No, trying to find an apartment.
Okay.
So I ended up signing a lease agreement, setting first and last.
Okay.
Moved down here. Moved in the first night. Went out, had a couple drinks to celebrate. Came back the next day, or came back that night. But I woke up the next morning. Went out for breakfast. Came back, all the doors were locked. I got scammed.
Wow. So she took your first, last.
She took the first
and
and
what
last.
you didn't have the lease or anything at
all
that
of our
point?
codes, everything. No, we had a lease agreement,
Right.
but she signed it with a false name.
Oh, wow. So it's kind of like you needed to do the onus of like, show me your ID.
Yeah,
and like you can't do that to your landlord.
I wouldn't think like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like you're already thinking like she's already kind of doing you a favor, letting you live here.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I know what that situation is like, where like that like this person is kind of like giving you a good deal. So like obviously you don't want to step on their toes or like
she was helping us out, and like she even said that she had job opportunities for us. She owned these
so
bars.
sweeten the pot.
Yeah, she did everything. Like she completely ran us.
Wow.
And
but that was her home.
Usually I'm much smarter than that. It was a house, but it had 3 different levels that were all turned into apartments.
Okay.
So like
did she own the property?
I believe so.
Okay. And when the cops came there, basically like you're trying to tell them your story, and they're like, if you don't have a lease, we're not even hearing what you have to say, right?
They helped us get our clothes, but wouldn't. They're like it's
so
small,
so they knew that
small
the clothes
claims, yeah.
was in the apartment too.
Yeah.
Wow. And then
they're like, yo, we'll help you get your clothes, but they're like, you got to take this to small claims court, and you got to do all this, that, and the other thing, and we're not doing any of that. I deal it on my own, chalk it up.
And like you're here, and like you barely had enough money to even get in the apartment to begin with.
Yeah. So
and now it's like she's stolen all your money, and you have to start from like zero.
Exactly. We had enough money for food, and instead of food, we got a tent, and we ended up here.
Wow. That is so brutal.
I Googled it. I Googled campgrounds in Toronto, and this is the first place that came up. It's got a lot of popularity.
How long have you been here now?
Couple months.
Couple months.
Yeah,
okay.
Couple months.
And you're about to get to a new place, though, right?
Yeah, thankfully, due to my partner.
Come into the camera.
This is my business partner, not a life partner. Come on now.
So this gentleman here has actually started kind of like an outreach. It's kind of like a grassroots initiative where they are going and trying to help the community. So he's helped him find a new place to live, apparently helping him with employment. And
I moved in today. I'm out of the park today.
Granted, like
I'm out of the park today.
You know, I think if everyone, if all the homeless community was you, I don't think we'd have like so much of a problem. You seem like, you know, somebody
Like, some
motivated
people,
to change the circumstances.
some people choose this life.
Right.
Some people
right,
110% choose this life. They've been offered housing and things like that, but they won't go.
Now, what was the government like willing to give you? Like, are you a Canadian? You're
I'm a Canadian citizen. Yeah.
So when
He
you
is not.
when you went, which is even like crazier, right? Like
Yeah,
we've got
exactly.
somebody from
You got
Colombia.
two
A guy
extremes.
from Colombia is helping us more than
The
our own
government.
government is
Yeah,
helping
yeah,
us, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
how somebody from like basically third world circumstances came here and is now uplifting our third world problems. Which,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of crazy. So
Those almost look like some jail shoes right there. What
skips.
are you wearing?
She's got some skips on.
Hey, you wear those around the wrong crowd? Those are jail shoes.
Those totally look like jail shoes. He's right. But you know what? That's like the new style with like old rich men. It's like fuck the shoelaces, right? Like that's too much work. Yeah. So you went to the so okay. So you get screwed by this landlady. Cops don't want to help you. So okay. So obviously you're going to the government first, right? You're like gonna go to like what, like Ontario Works or something. Be like, okay, I was screwed, and what do they basically tell? Like, did they even offer you like the working allowance bonus? Like, was there any? So they nothing.
No.
So basically they're just like, listen, we give you your $800 whatever per
Not
month,
even
seven per month, and
average rent in Toronto is $2,500.
yeah. Oh, we know.
Fuck me.
Yeah, it's really
And
expensive.
like I had a good job before this and stuff like that.
What are you doing?
Like,
What did you do for work?
At one point I was a national sales trainer for the Canadian automotive industry.
Wow.
I've managed car dealerships. I even managed Mississauga Chrysler at one point.
So how does that all, like, drugs, right? It has to be drugs.
No, right? I'll drink my drink and I'll smoke a little bit of weed. But that's it.
So how did you go from having that job?
I don't have a family support.
Was it like COVID killed your job?
COVID. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, right? It's
so
like,
I had to try to pick a new.
And cars aren't selling like they used to.
Everything's different.
Yeah.
Everything's different.
Yeah. But it's kind of like the government is almost paying car companies to make cars that nobody's going to buy.
And then
It's like this new game they're playing.
And then the chip shortage.
Right. Yep.
All that.
Yep.
So the chip shortage, that was huge. That fucked us.
I mean, I remember I broke his car key, right? Because like
you're screwed, eh?
It cost like $1,200.
Oh my god!
For the car key, and his van is only worth like $3,000. It's like a Grand Caravan from like 15 years ago, and they charge $1,000 for the key. It's like, are you crazy? And it wasn't. It was like a pin. They need to put a pin in the car was $1,000.
Oh
like God. That is, this is the system that we are subjected to, right? Yeah. And it's like, what is the one thing that the government has done, like, since like COVID? Oh, they took away like overdraft fees, right? It's like if you get an NSF charge, now the bank won't take $50 from you for hitting an NSF. Which, it's like, how are they not in jail for this to begin with? It's like, how were they even allowed to take $50 every time you went $1 over your bank account? It's like, the poorest people are the only ones that are going to have this problem, right? And you're taking $50 when it's like you didn't even have to pay that dollar, right? It's like, it's not like they paid you the dollar, right? It's like not only do they charge you 50, but then they make sure that they take that $1 back too, right? It's like, even if it was just $1 over, it's like, no, you owe us 50, and we're gonna pay 0 on what you thought you paid for. Okay, so your girlfriend, you said you're in your early 30s.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend, how old is she?
27.
27. So, okay, so you're basically both same age, both kind of like same generation. So a lot of things in common there. What does she do for work? Like waitress, bartender?
She does both of that as well. I actually was a bartender at the Fox on John down here last time.
Okay.
It's a pretty familiar bar.
Yeah. I worked at the Toad up at where was that? Shepherd and Steeles, I think it is. Shepherd and Young? Yeah, no, Shepherd and Young. Yeah, I worked up there. I mean, it's okay, but like with what things cost today in Toronto, it's like, like you'll make maybe $20 an hour, right, after tip, somewhere around there, maybe 25.
Depends on how good you are at your job.
And on the days that you get to work, right? It's like if you're working like a Tuesday afternoon,
or how much the bills are,
right, right. Oh, okay, yeah, right.
But,
Okay, yeah.
no. So, anyways, long story short,
I babble too much.
and so long story short, you already got how I ended up here. And I ended up here
And you're getting yourself out of it
due to
though.
unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
I'm very lucky that this gentleman right here, David,
God brings people together, man. God brings people
divine
together.
intervention. He came here with a box of cookies the first time, and I saw him hanging around the outside. And
That's adorable.
He was a little bit scared to come in. I could tell.
You know, here comes the cookies
He
and
was
milk.
like, shit. I don't know if I should go in there. But I noticed that we made eye contact, and I was sitting on my couch over there because I got myself a couch.
Right.
And he was like, yeah? I was like, yeah, bro, come here. And he wanted to just drop off the cookies and leave. But instead, I encouraged him to walk around with me.
Right, kind of like introduce him to everyone.
And introduce him so everybody knows he's cool.
So you're naturally shy. You're shy. You're
shy.
yeah. No, you know what? I used to be the shyest person too, man. You'd never think it, right? Because it's like I can go to like anybody and talk to them.
You got that
But I was really averse to like,
Yeah.
like to just going up to somebody out of the blue and like, like introducing myself and like, being like, I want to help you or something. Like that to me seemed like it's almost like you don't want to offend them. You don't want to go and be like, I think you need help, right? Because you know that if somebody went to you like that, you're going to be like, why do you think I need pity?
Yeah, yes.
Right?
You can't walk through there. This is a very dangerous place. You can't walk through there.
Really?
You cannot walk through there.
Like even now?
Give it a shot.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to. What, they're going to rob me?
No, people start screaming at you and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's because like that's their home, right?
Yeah, this is our community.
So how about with you though? How do they treat you?
Fine. But then they're gonna look at me differently as well.
Oh, because like you invited like the riffraff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
So it makes.
But I guess it's kind of like
even though you're a good guy, but they can look at me as like a fucking.
No, I can imagine that there's like
a Fed or something.
Right, and not even that. It's like a lot of people come here.
If you check my record, you're good.
I look like a Fed to you.
No. You don't give me that energy.
It's kind of like I don't know, when you're dealing with cops. I went to jail because I was entrapped 5 times as a kid. I was 18 years old. I sold to an undercover. I used to watch Law and Order, right? You think when you sell to an undercover, he's got to arrest you, right? Like, I had no idea. Like, I was hanging around with like Russian gangsters and stuff. Like, I was 18, just moved out of my mom's house. I'm living in Northeast Philadelphia. I have my own apartment. I had like a 6-month nonstop party. It's like there's 20 people in my house at all times, all throughout the day, right? Just girls in and out, drugs in and out. So I had a great time, right? So apparently the police thought I was like some giant kingpin because I have these Russian mobsters coming in and out of my house. Literally 5 times, man. It's like over 3 months they bought 5 times off me. And then here's the worst part. The last time they buy off you, like you think they're going to arrest you on the spot, right? No, it's like 8 months later you get a call into work. Oh, there's a warrant for your arrest, and we have like 30 felony charges. And you're like, I was 19 years old. Like I just turned 19 at that point. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna become a hard drug addict, and I think I've like now, like I think I know what my career choice is now, right? It's like I have jail coming up, and I was deported from Philadelphia over that, right? It's like they ruined my fucking life at 19 years old. Why? Because that's some quotas to me, right? Like because they wanted to like make an example.
I gotta get to this apartment viewing. So yeah. Anyways, long story short, the help of this gentleman right here. Me, my girl, and my dog are moving into our new apartment today.
That's beautiful.
So that's why I'm trying to get.
So if I came here next week, I'm not gonna see you here, right?
You're gonna see me here tomorrow.
Okay.
You're gonna see me here in a few hours.
But what about like you're still gonna come back and like check on these people, right?
Yeah, that's my family.
So if I wanted to come here and like see how you're doing like a week from now, how do we get in contact with you? We can exchange numbers or something.
Yeah, and you can also follow us.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I wanna, what you're doing, I wanna help in any way I can.
VitaLoca.ca on Instagram is right there. There it is.
And they've got merch. So I'll put like links up so you guys, if you guys want to support these guys and what they're doing.
Guys, 80% of the proceeds go back to helping the community. Go back to the youth that are experiencing homelessness or struggling.
And I don't get a cut out of this.
We haven't talked about nothing like that. No? But everything comes back to the community, guys. David actually, he was working as a carpenter doing this all out of his own pocket before we started this brand. So he was actually coming by here
That's a very useful
weekly,
skill set,
weekly,
especially for people that need homes
giving my
built.
dog food, making sure that me and my girl were fed, everything else, and he was doing it out of his own pocket. And we sat down on my couch in front of my tent, and we had a conversation about his vision, what he wants to accomplish, and where he wants to see his brand grow. Um, and together, him being from Colombia and speaking Spanish, me being sales and marketing from here in Canada, we decided to come together and launch this brand. And we actually just had our first pop-up shop at Stack Market last weekend. We're gonna have new dates every single weekend. Next weekend, where are we? Spadina and King.
But okay, we're gonna come visit you guys for sure. We're gonna come.
So we'll
visit
be
you
at
guys for
Spadina
sure.
and King next weekend at the pop-up there. And if you follow us on Instagram at vitaloca.ca or any type of support, it always helps. We appreciate that, and together we can help change the lives of a lot of other people.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Like seriously,
You know?
like I really want to support you guys. I think this is exactly what people need to be doing. I think that like
this is our logo.
if people don't step up and at least start trying things, nothing's going to change, right? It's like throw the ball at the wall, see if it bounces back, right? If it doesn't, try something else.
Look, but I never thought I'd see myself in a situation like this, but being in a situation like this completely opened up my eyes as well.
God puts us
I will
in
use all my
precarious situations.
Because there's a lot of people in here that don't deserve to be here. There's some people that choose it.
It seems like out of all the people here, you're going to be the best able to understand how people got here.
Yeah.
Like why they can't get out.
I'm an empath at heart.
You're also intelligent, right? And I think that like that's actually something a lot of these communities lack. Is like they haven't like almost anointed someone to speak on their behalf. And that's kind of almost what they need to do. It's like they need to find the smartest person in their community, and that has to be their representative, their voice. That has to be the person who's conveying all of their pain, all of their suffering. Like you said, you're empathetic. That's kind of what you need, right? Because that's what people are only going to understand if you explain to them. What I've learned, especially with our generation, people just like they don't get it. They don't. They think you want this. They think you're lazy. You don't want to do anything. Right? When it's like, well, okay, I may not want to work for minimum wage being somebody's slave, but like I don't want to do nothing either, right? Like I want an opportunity to get myself out of this position, right? But I also don't just want to suffer my whole life. Yeah. Like if you don't see a rainbow at the end, right? Like what are you doing?
There's no pot of gold.
Right. There's no pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. You're wasting your time. All right,
guys.
We'll check on you in like a week. Spadina King.
It's a pleasure.
What day was it again? You said?
It's just this weekend. Saturday, Sunday
at Spadina and King.
Yeah, I don't know what day of the month that is. On the street corner.
And you said you're here regularly, right?
Yeah. This is David. Guys, once again, this is the gentleman I was talking to you about.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me take no more of your time. Thank you so much for the interview,
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.